It always reminds me of the Step Brothers movie. I just want to pray to baby Jesus.
No, wait. I think that was Talladega Nights. Where they're saying prayer at the table. Shut your mouth, Chip! I'm going to scorpion kick you in the back of the head.
I'm going to jump on you like a spider monkey.
Light it.
The Triple Option is presented by Wendy's. Join Team Tendies and enjoy a lineup like never before. Crispy, juicy Tendies, now at Wendy's. Hey, welcome to another edition of the Triple Option presented by Wendy's. The Hall of Famers, Urban Meyer, Mark Ingram II. I'm Rob Stone. Glad you're here with us. Please rate, subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is you get your podcasts. We're on social media at 3X Option Show. New episodes coming your way on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. We're not going anywhere in the offseason, folks. We're with you throughout the year with interviews and addressing subjects that always seem to appear in college football, like the new Clemson-Ole Miss rivalry, which kicks off any given Saturday. So here we are, national champion Indiana Hoosiers, crowned last Monday. The transfer portal, it is closed for players to enter, but anyone still in there, and there are still a lot of players in that portal, are still available. And apparently, even if you use the portal to find a new home and went to that new home and got an apartment and a car at that new home,
and taking classes,
and going into meeting rooms like former Cal linebacker Luke Farrelly did at Clemson, you're still on the open market. Yeah, here's Clemson's Dabo Swinney with an epic sound off.
It's, to me, we have a broken system. And if there are no consequences for tampering, then we have no rules and we have no governance. It's really just that simple, okay? This is not, let me be very clear. This is not about a linebacker at Clemson. I don't listen. I feel sorry for I think it's a symptom of a system that you have a kid that I meet at 9:30 and he's signed the next day. Like I feel sorry for the young man, to be honest with you. I blame the adults.
A lot of blame to go around, Coach.
Sure.
You did some phone calls. You did some deep thinking about this. What comes to your mind about this?
Yeah, with the colleagues I've had, Mark, I'm the kind of the punching bag where I'll get phone calls and just bitching and whining about this is going on. But it's been going on for a while, and something happened the last half of my career with the NCAA, and they started to get litigated on everything. So there are no rules. The NCAA is gone. It's over. Obviously I could just hear it. There's going to be a 2-year investigation on something that should be fixed, right now. But the human element is driven by risk reward. Everybody remember that. That's facts, especially in a high pressure job like college football. There's coaches rolling over laughing right now when you look back at the penalties. They said, I heard there was 90 infractions last year of tampering or processed, whatever the hell that means. But there's, Mark, law and order without consequence is not law and order. It's chaos. We've seen that in society. We've seen that now not now. It's been that way. So this is, it actually disgusts me. It makes me sick, because I'll hear people say everybody does it. No, everybody doesn't do it. But if there were 90 last year, I estimate there'll be 460 next year because there's no consequences.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you have to win. How do you win? You get great players. How do great players recruit them? Or you tamper with them, or you pay them. And if there's no consequences, have at it. So, it's over. I think it's kind of been over. We saw that with the Wolverine case where, there was infractions that changed outcomes of games and nothing, they fined them, I think, and there's show cause for people that aren't in college football anymore. This is comical. If this doesn't, and now, they could hammer, if this is all true.
Right.
And it sounds to me like Dabo has the goods right there. This should be not a 3-year investigation, 2-year investigation. This should be a 1-week investigation. You go on the campus. I think it's Ole Miss. You meet with the athletic director and the coach and say, if you lie, we're going to ask you questions. If you lie, we have facts here. You can't lie to the NCAA. If you can't coach.
Right.
And investigation's not over. But then they're going to hire Tom Mars, that attorney. They'll fight it. and I guess they'll win. And it really bothers me. And I actually see people out there taking shots at Dabo. Think about that,
For
Mark
what?
and Rob.
For what?
For calling out Ole Miss?
Yeah, they call him a whiner. Why is he whining? And you better get with the Joneses. And,
They're calling him a snitch.
Yeah. Yeah. And where Dad was doing the right thing, turn him in.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely turn him in.
100%.
And if nothing happens, like you said, there is no governance, there's no rules, and it'll be the most chaotic, which it already is.
Right.
So I'm disappointed, Mark and Rob, but it's not the first time.
Well, the NCAA has a chance to make a stance. Everyone that says, what does the NCAA have to do anymore, which everyone thinks the NCAA is basically lost right now. So they have a chance to make a stand here. You have a linebacker who committed, who moved to Clemson, who is actively in class, and you have the DC and the head coach from another said school allegedly texting the man while he's in class, offering him a deal, upping the deal again. If that's not tampering, I don't know what is. And if there is no tampering, then we have a problem in college football right now. So the NCAA has a chance to take a stance. Allegedly,
So I think,
what'd you say?
I think, Rob, read the rule. You got the rule there, Rob, right?
Yeah.
Read the rule so everybody knows that there is, because that's the first thing I said. Is this an unwritten rule or is this a rule? If it's a rule, then you better enforce the rule.
So, all right. So we're talking about the NCAA right now. And again, to your point, Coach, they processed 90 tampering cases last year. And the NCAA did confirm that, whatever process means, that they confirmed that they are involved in this current matter that we're talking about. The rule right now, teams are not allowed to tamper with athletes according to NCAA bylaw 31.1.1.4. All right. So that's a lot of dots. When you have to go that deep into something, that tells you something. So whatever that is, punishment, according to the NCAA manual, Ole Miss, they could receive a level 2 violation if it contacted Ferrelli after he was enrolled at Clemson. Certainly appears that's the case. The punishment could worsen if Ole Miss gave Ferrelli money to lure him to the Rebels. I don't know if I'm getting a text in class saying, how about $1 million for a year? And then they double it to $2 million for 2 years. That feels like that was money to lure him to Ole Miss. That's the way I look at it, unless they're saying you actually have to have cold hard cash in your hand in a bag. Like there has to be a bag guy that hands it to you. Last tampering case, guys, to be punished by the NCAA, 2023, Southern Utah. Their head coach.
What year are we in, Stone?
We're in 2026, barely. We're barely in 2026.
All Southern Utah.
The bad boys of Southern Utah contacted 2 student athletes from other schools who were not entered into the portal. Punishment was handed down in 2024. It was a level 2 penalty, $5,000 fine. Okay. For Southern Utah, maybe $5,000 fine is a lot. For Ole Miss, they're like, what? That's nothing.
That's
loose
all you gonna
change
give me?
Counts a year probation, a game suspension, and a 2-year cause for Fitzgerald. So
show cause, whatever that is.
The old 2-year show cause. So again, if Southern Utah, and again, this is no disrespect to Southern Utah, and I don't even want to drag them into this conversation, but if Southern Utah, and the school that was done wrong by Southern Utah comes out and says this, that doesn't make a ripple, doesn't make any noise. I think if Clemson and Dabo Swinney, who are certainly in the upper echelon of college football, if they come out, and I give Dabo and Clemson credit for standing up for what is perceived to be right. Listen, I'm sure there's some things in the closet at every university, right? Some things that they're not that proud of. But Dabo to get up there on that podium and spend about 10 plus minutes talking about the state of college football, it's about damn time.
Yeah.
It's about damn time. And it's about damn time that somebody at a higher level, a big boy in college football, stood up and said, that's enough. And my hope is that other head coaches will follow his lead. It's really fascinating what's going on at Clemson right now. Guys, if you go online to the Clemson roster and you go to Luke Ferrelli's bio, it says, click here for Luke Ferrelli's timeline at Clemson. Okay? Click it. You know where it takes you? Right to Dabo's 10-plus minute rant.
Wow.
So give that administrator a raise at Clemson. The other thing about Ferrelli, originally committed to Arizona, changed his mind, committed to Stanford before finally flipping to Cal. Okay, so that's 3 places.
There's some third uncles involved in this.
That's
one,
what I'm
boys.
saying. It just doesn't great. The kid took a redshirt year, had a really strong season as a linebacker year 1 at Cal. Interception, a fumble recovery, 91 total tackles. He was a 3-star recruit coming out, but he was a hot linebacker recruit in the transfer portal. And what I love another line about Dabo is he said, and again, Dabo doesn't dabble in the portal, right? But they took 11 guys. They took 11 guys out of the portal. That's a program record this year. But he said, we wanted 1 linebacker. Okay. That was on our shopping list. 1 linebacker. We got our linebacker. We signed our linebacker, and we canceled all the other visits. We told the other kids, go spend your time elsewhere. Go get an education and some playing time somewhere else. So they stopped it. And now they're out that 1 linebacker. And I think that kind of sucks. And it kind of sucks that Duke lost their quarterback, Darian Mensah, as well, who goes into the transfer portal on the last day of the portal after already committing with a signed contract and already committing. And now Duke has come to this resolution with him and his company. His company's name, of course, Coach, is what?
Oh, what?
Young Money.
Young money. Yeah, Young
There's
Money.
a lot of young money out there in college football these days now.
I got a meeting with Young Money next
Do you?
No. Young Money. What the
By the
hell
way,
are
Mark,
we
can you
talking
imagine
about?
a meeting Urban Meyer and Young Money?
Young Money. Hey, I don't put it past Coach, man. He's versatile. Next thing I know, he's going to be sponsoring the We the Best Khaled tournament. You know what I mean? That boy, Young Money. Times Urban Meyer.
It used to be all about the graduation rates, what's your business major like, what's your life after sport program, right? Now it's let's meet with the Young Money. And great contracts. So Young Money don't believe in contracts, obviously.
So Farrell is no longer at Clemson, Stoner? Is that what you're telling me?
Ole Miss, he's gone. He's out.
He
like
left?
The coach, Mark, the coaches, they were texting him, calling him. They literally went to his newly rented apartment, and he was in the driveway, ready to leave. And they were still trying to
for $2 million.
Re-recruit him back to the campus that he was on and was lifting at and taking classes at and in meetings. And he jumped in his new car and hit town. So I think it's going to be fascinating because you're right, Coach. It definitely feels like there's a smoking gun right there. And not only is it a smoking gun, it's not a smoking gun at Southern Utah. This is a smoking gun at Clemson and an Ole Miss team that was this close to getting to the national championship game.
Well, the AD also at Clemson said that the NCAA has alerted them that they have something that quite honestly didn't happen very often, and that is people are willing to do what Dabo did. Say we're going to turn this in.
Yeah, the NCAA was almost caught off guard by Clemson
and years. Yeah, and no one would, you'd hear this player accepting a gift, you turn it in, the player or the family would refuse to help. And so the NCAA does not have subpoena power. They don't have any legal power.
What power
other than to enforce?
What power does the NCAA have right now?
I don't know.
To enforce this rule.
Yeah, but now they have something that's unusual. They have it. They don't have to subpoena to get the text messages. They have it. So the investigation process, I think everybody will watch this because this is very unique. They have it all. It's over. It's over. So next week we should hear that whatever the punishment should happen. If that doesn't happen, what fumes are left to the NCAA, I think they should just disband. And I want to say this too, Mark. I'm not sure everybody understands what the NCAA is. NCAA is made up of member institutions. You know who's on all these committees? The enforcement committees are presidents, the so-called CEOs of the universities. They're, I think they're complicit with all. I don't think I know this. I was in it long enough to be like, wait a minute. Who's on this committee? And they're allowing this to take place?
But listen here. So he leaves. Obviously, they have the goods, right, to be able to, hand over to the NCAA. Let me just tell you, this is not a heavy hit, though. You said, what did you say it was? A level 2 penalty, $5,000 fine, which I could pay.
That was the Southern Utah example. A couple years back. Yeah.
So that was the comparable penalty, right? They're saying it could be a level 2 penalty.
I don't know if it's quite apples to apples, but it's close.
All that, nothing matters. That what happens to the player if
he
stays at Ole Miss, then every coach in the country is just
going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So listen, we in the sporting world and the media world, we complain we find problems and we bitch about it. All right. So let's stop bitching about it, because we all agree this is wrong and this is demented and it shouldn't be happening.
What is the fix?
So what is the
we
fix?
all need?
So what is the fix, right? And I think it's really simple and basic to say, right or wrong, let's just get a commissioner, right? Like, and again, remember, everything is going the NFL model. Everything is going the NFL model.
Why? I think we're missing the point. They already said, let's start another commission. So now you have another enforcement arm that's supposed to enforce the NIL.
The NIL stuff.
I can help you with that. That's not going to work.
Correct.
So you don't need more rules. You don't need more people. You need to enforce the rules.
But who's going to enforce it? It's not the NCAA, right? It has to be somebody else.
Well, there has to be an enforcement arm.
Right.
I don't think a commissioner without any power is going to do the same thing. So what you can name it. They already got the president of the NCAA. So you want another person in charge?
I don't want any more people. I don't want any more people that are ineffective.
I'd love to can we get the president of the NCAA on here and say, what the hell are you doing?
I would rephrase the question.
I would love to ask him, say, I'm like, hey,
questions that need answers.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect and everything. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that answer?
Well, I doubt they would come on, right? That doesn't sound like a win-win for them. But again, I go to my point of this commissioner. It sounds very basic, and I understand it. But guess what? It works in the professional leagues, right? And I know it's not as many institutions. We're dealing with different type of humans, and it's not apples to apples. But the NFL has a really good commissioner, right? That works, obviously, and he's paid for by the owners, right? So it's not by the players or the university. So again, this is not an apple-to-apple conversation. But at some point, for the good of college football, everybody needs to come together and be like, a kumbaya moment. And the SEC and the Big Ten, hey guys, can we come together? Like, they can't even figure out the playoffs right now. They're battling over the number of teams to be in the playoffs. Are they going to be battling? And again, this is an SEC ACC problem now. And this issue did go to the commissioners, right? If you're Phillips, the ACC commissioner, and you're calling Sankey, how do you think that phone call is going? I'd be pissed if I was the ACC. ACC's they're not getting screwed twice, because Mensah's going from ACC most likely to another ACC team, allegedly going from Duke to Miami, which, listen, you're not jumping in the transfer portal on the last day after you committed to be a starting quarterback of the ACC champion Duke Blue Devils, unless you know.
For sure.
No,
I'm getting that bag.
Somewhere else.
I'm getting that young money. You know what I mean?
We're laughing.
The thing here is this, though.
It's so ridiculous.
It's over.
Like, the fix is this. You sign a damn contract. Nowhere can you just go and breach the contract without some type of repercussion.
Except in college athletics.
Except for college football right now. College athletics. So, all right.
Coach, you miss coaching?
And I remember sitting with Eric Shanks, and he said, if this is chaos, keep the chaos coming, because their viewership's never been higher. Yep. Big Noon has never been higher. It's incredible. The playoffs,
triple option is up percentage.
Championship game. Everything is going great.
100%.
And
right.
Let me answer that question for you,
going.
You asked.
The problem is, let me finish, Mark, with this. The problem is, you're setting examples for these young guys that, and at some point, that linebacker that just left Clemson, at some point, he's not going to run as fast, jump as high, and be able to tackle as well. And he's got to rely on a network, a college, the college network, the collegiate experience, your friends, your teammates, and go live your life and get a functional job. And I don't know this kid, so he might be fine with that regard. It sounds like there's some chaos in his life, but
again, Coach, if you're getting $1 million and you're in college,
it's $1 million shit though. I mean,
$2 million
compared to, no, it's great. It's great. And you know how much he's keeping, right?
Right.
Taxes. Exactly. How many agents?
Taxes,
you think are working
agent
with him?
fees. Yeah.
He taking home less than 500. But hey, to answer your question, you asked Coach a good question. Does he miss coaching? Let me tell you, he does not miss coaching. Because I was just in Sarasota, and my boy had that 50-foot boat on the water. He was captaining that ship. He pulled it right up to the restaurant. We walked in. They had us 2 tables. And we was living a good life, a blessed life, a sunset cruise with Coach Urban Meyer,
man.
with Captain Meyer.
How about the landing with the boat? How about the boat just slipped right in this nice?
Come on, man. Coach
We had a
know what
little
he's
current
doing,
with
man.
Dylan.
We're well aware Coach knows what he's doing. That was your fresh take of the week presented by Wendy's. Join Team Tendies and enjoy a lineup like never before. Crispy, juicy Tendies now at Wendy's. You going to show me something, Mark?
Let me show you Captain Meyer.
Oh. I've been with Captain Meyer. My family has been with Captain Meyer. My boys have been flipping off the back of your boat out at that burger joint. What's the name of that burger joint out there?
New Pass Grill.
Oh man,
it's outstanding.
That was a banger. That was a banger. That was a good day. Hey, we might be having another one coming up, Coach, another couple months. Coming up next, the college football playoff will remain at 12 teams, but there's a clause in there that was agreed upon years ago that is making a little bit of news. Also, Ohio State adds more NFL experience to their sideline, and we look ahead to the 2026 Heisman race. All that coming up next on the Triple Option, presented by Wendy's.
Light it.
College football not feeling as juicy as it once did? Let me put you on to something that'll shake up your Saturday and every other day of the week, because now that Wendy's has crispy chicken tendies and a powerhouse lineup of new sauces, it's time you transferred to the hottest team in the league.
That's right, Rob. Team Tendies, Wendy's Tendies. They're making their undeniable rookie season one for the books. Enjoy first-string flavor from some five-star recruits. Rep your new favorite team everywhere you go, but make sure to cheer with your mouth closed.
Take it to the end zone of savory sauces like honey barbecue, creamy ranch, and the new Wendy's signature sauce to experience a total taste bud blitz of flavor. It's time to join a team that won't upset you with an upset. Taste the phenom that's gracing the gridiron with its juicy, crispy, and tendery tendencies. Don't fumble the bag. Commit to a team, Tendies, and call the most delicious plays in the playbook. All right, huddle up. Tendies on three. Tendies on three.
1,
2, 3.
Tendies! Let's do this!
Ah!
No rehearsal. Wendy's Chicken Tendies now at participating U.S. Wendy's. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab.
This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win.
So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over, and football is officially done.
So, Mark, it is last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/triple option to get started. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Welcome back to the Triple Option. Mark, what's our catchphrase?
Young money.
And what's Coach's catchphrase?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. So outside of tampering conversations, the first week of the college football offseason certainly has brought us some headlines, a couple of them on the coaching front. Really interesting assistant coach hire at USC. Gary Patterson just named into the College Football Hall of Fame class with Deuce Mark Ingram II, and he will take the open defensive coordinator job out west at USC. Remember, 22 years as head coach at TCU. They have a statue of him outside the stadium. Resigned in October of 2021, and he did some analyst and consulting work, Urban, for Texas and Baylor. Took last year off, and now he's a DC at USC.
Yeah, Gary and I grew up in the profession together. One of the finest coaches out there. What a great hire. You know, I think Lincoln Riley has proven that he really he's not going to change. You know, there's been, you saw it at Oklahoma, Mark. You saw it at USC. Very good offenses, bad defenses, and they lose. at the end. No, they win, but they can't finish the job. And there's a couple of choices you have. One is do what Ryan Day did, give up play calling, become the head coach, and hire someone. He's not done that. He won't do it now. I'm sure the AD asked him to do it for us to take the next step. Instead, he went and got a former head coach. He's gonna. I think Gary's gonna be a big bonus for those guys. He's one of the best coaches I was around growing up in the profession.
And you get the sense too, Gary is not a former head coach that's going to be after his job, if you know what I mean, right? He's there just to be a team player, loves to get back into it. An awesome hire. Watch out for USC, right? When the AP preseason rankings come out, USC is going to be in that top 5, and they've got a great chance to make it 4 straight Big Ten programs. 4 straight Big Ten programs to win the
USC
national
has a chance to make
USC and Oregon. Yeah, you heard it here.
You're throwing it out
man.
there, Rob.
It's January, man. I can throw out a lot of stuff right now. Speaking of coaching hires, Ohio State, once again, going to the NFL. Well, they name 43-year-old Arthur Smith as offensive coordinator. Smith, remember, was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons for 3 years. Most recently, the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, Coach, the Buckeyes now have former NFL guys in charge of the offense and the defense.
Yeah, back in the day, you never really went that direction because a good percentage of your job was recruiting. And NFL guys never recruited. And at places like Ohio State, you can't train people to recruit. You better have experience. But those days are long gone. Now, they're not even going to recruit. The coordinators don't go on the road. They are a full-time, they're no different than the NFL. So I think it's a great hire. The other thing, you always had budget limitations on, you had something called a salary pool. Those don't exist anymore either. There are no salary pools. So
for the coaches, you mean, Coach?
Yeah. So, I mean, back in the day, it was like, I mean, this is a long time. $2 million, you have to hire your whole staff.
Yeah.
Then $3 million. I remember at Bowling Green, it was $150,000. I mean, it was terrible. But now there's no salary pool. You just go hire whoever you want to hire. They're going to find the money. And obviously, heck of a coach. Now you have how about that? 2 former NFL head coaches
as your
calling
coordinators.
Offense and defense at Ohio State.
That's appealing.
That's a hell of a deal.
Too.
No, and appealing to the player, but no recruiting. There's no. Yeah. This is all money now. I mean, it's really unbelievable. You think what's happened in the last 5 years.
Definitely sounds like a trend as well, right?
Sure.
It's a follow the leader type world out there, and we saw how well it worked with Patricia last year on the defensive side. It's interesting though about this hire, and actually, let me start with this, Coach. The take in Columbus on this hire, it's reading about. It feels like it's a little bit of a mixed bag. What is the vibe you're getting within Ohio State about this hire?
I've heard a little bit. Coach State told me kind of which direction he's going to be headed, without going in too far detail. But I think the Ohio State's jumping all over themselves because they see the Matt Patricia as the template to go hire someone that's going to focus on scheme. And, this Arthur Smith's got to be one of the best in the business at it, what he's done in his career. And again, you just eliminated, there was a time, I would say maybe 75% of your job was recruiting. When I was in the FCC, people were getting hired not because of football acumen, how many players you could get. That's all gone. That's gone. Yeah. Now it's simply how much money do you have and go hire the best strategy guys you can.
You know who's going to love this hire, Mark? Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson. So remember, Arthur Smith played guard at the University of North Carolina. His background is on that offensive line. The offensive line had some question marks, and I think the Ohio State O-line and maybe the offense in general, it showed some flaws those last 2 games. Both of them losses, scoring just 24 points. So remember, this is a guy who coached your buddy, Derrick Henry in Tennessee, Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson. So he's known more as kind of an offensive line running type guy. And I think there's some fear in Columbus, like, well, wait a second. We're really good at passing the ball. And that's where Ryan Day comes in. And I think it feels like it could be, hopefully, if you're a Buckeye fan, a really good yin and yang between passing and running games.
Yeah, I think when you look at his background and what he's been able to do, I think it's going to be good for Ohio State. You got you got an offensive coordinator with NFL pedigree. You got a defensive coordinator with NFL pedigree. And now you were able to lean on what he's been able to. You're able to bring his expertise to the Big Ten, to Ohio State, with those playmakers, with a quarterback who has a year of starting experience under his belt. I think this is a good move for Ohio State, and really it puts them right back into the conversation that they just left a year ago. They have the talent. Now you have the acumen from the coach, from the coordinator side, to be able to go and kind of take them to the next level, because obviously they lost their guy to USF, but I think this is a good hire for them. I think as a player, you have NFL pedigree from both coordinators. I think that's appealing for a player to be able to go and learn, because what's your ultimate goal? You going to Ohio State, you're going to obviously play at one of the best universities in the country. You're going to be trying to make it to the NFL. Who better to learn from than Matt Patricia, than Arthur Smith, people who have played at that level, who have coached Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, amongst others, and be able to learn and hone your craft under two of the best that are doing it in college football right now.
So one note, just the logistics behind the scenes of this, and I asked Coach Day, so Ryan's pretty well set in his offense. That's the same offense terminology we used when I was there. And Chip Kelly changed it a little bit, because I remember asking him, because the minute you hire a big-name coordinator,
he wants to bring his stuff.
Want to run his stuff.
He wants to bring his stuff.
So you're going to have 100 people in that program now learn a new terminology, unless there was an agreement. Whenever I hired a coordinator, I would give them the playbook and say, this is what we're going to run. And I usually elevated my guys, and we ran it, because I wanted to know what's going on. And we talked about that. Is Coach Day going to walk in that meeting room and say, what in the hell are we doing? I don't recognize this terminology.
I doubt that.
And it's been pretty good. So I think there's probably going to be a little bit of a mesh of what he's done before with what Coach Day's done before.
I believe Coach Day is not just going to flip this thing upside down. He's going to kind of stay with what he knows, stay with what his roots are. But then you're going to have Arthur Smith with his input, with his type of style, kind of combine them to make this power that Ohio State is looking for.
And there'll be a couple Buckeyes in the Heisman running for next year. We're going to discuss that coming up. But first, the college football playoffs. What a wild success it was. And it's going to be successful again at 12 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the ACC, Big 10, Big 12, SEC champs are guaranteed in now. So Duke, your ACC champion, would have been in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
That would have thrown off some numbers. One other thing to keep in mind, and this is the big one, this will be our talking point. Notre Dame, the clause that was agreed upon earlier, if they finish inside the top 10,
12.
If Notre Dame finishes inside the top 12
of the final rankings,
not
that 12 spot that gets dropped because of a G6 or
bingo.
Yeah.
If they are just inside that top 12, that includes number 12 in the final ranking, they automatically get a spot.
That's a win.
Think about that.
That's a win for Notre Dame.
It's a huge win for Notre Dame, because you're not going to get the top 12 teams in the college football playoffs, because there's still the group of 6 out there, right?
Yeah.
So the group of 6 is going to take one of those 12, right? Which is going to knock
the 11
12.
Out.
Yeah. So now the cut line is at
11.
At 11, right?
As long as Notre Dame is not 12. And with this schedule.
That's the thing. So if Notre Dame's number 12, they get in, and the team that's ranked above them,
they get pushed out.
Tough break, number 11.
Yeah.
You're out. That's the part that stinks. I give Notre Dame credit for fighting.
That's a win.
For putting their stake in the ground and saying, hey, we're a top 12 team, get us in. Again, they don't have a full conference alignment. They do have a deal with the ACC that runs through 2036, where they are committed to playing 5 games against ACC opponents. So that's that soft affiliation on the football side. Of course, they have full affiliation with all the other Olympic sports. But I think if you're outside of Notre Dame, I think there's a couple people out there.
They're like
little teed off about that, Mark.
Yeah, people. You always hear join the conference. You ain't got to worry about it. But at the end of the day, they don't have to join no conference, because they got the muscle to be able to say, if I'm a top 12 team, I'm getting in the playoff, whether you like it or not. So I respect Notre Dame, because they just drop their nuts. They drag them on everybody, and now they're getting in the playoff. They're getting in the playoff if they're the number 12. So you hate it?
No conference championship game.
No conference championship game.
So all they got to do is schedule smart.
Yeah.
They will.
You play Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, Stanford, BYU,
Wow.
Navy, Miami,
No.
Boston College, SMU, and Syracuse.
That's 2026
Yes.
season.
Yes.
They're in.
Yes.
There's one spot that's in.
They're in.
Wow.
They're in.
Wow.
So, hey, the Brady
about that
Quinn.
Well,
schedule?
hold on. They've got Miami. They've got a really good BYU team. But that's it. You're right. Those are the two big challenges as of
Where
now.
do they play
looking at their
BYU?
schedule.
Where do they
At
play those
BYU.
two?
At BYU.
I don't know that one. I didn't write. Yes, Mark, you're right. At BYU.
Yep.
And we've seen what kind of environment that is. So that's a really tricky one.
I'm just saying
one
that
our Fox executives have circled.
And Miami.
And Miami comes to Notre Dame.
The Wisconsin game to open up the season is up in Green Bay. Michigan State, who knows what Sparty's going to be. Like, I think Sparty's going to be coming back eventually, Mark. I don't think
this is a schedule to be in the playoff, though.
Yeah,
correct.
If you got to beat BYU and Miami to get into the playoff, obviously they lost to Miami last year. That's why Miami got in over them. So they'll be looking for that. But
they don't have to beat them both.
Yes, you have to beat one of them. You lose one game, even two, you're going to be in the top 12.
They're in.
I don't know about two. Two would make me feel anxious.
They lost 2 games this year and they were in the top 12.
Hold on, Mark. Let me do an exercise here. All right. Final college football playoff rankings of the quote unquote regular season come out. Alabama is number 11. Notre Dame is number 12. Your Tide are out. The Irish are in. Go.
We need to win more games.
Oh, come on. That's not what you're going to say.
We need to win more games, bro. We need to win more games.
And Alabama
the
played
team
an
below
SEC
you's in and you're
schedule,
out.
and Notre Dame played that schedule. Think about that.
They're going to
Think about that. Go put an Alabama schedule against that schedule.
Alabama schedule's rough, too. Mm-hmm. Alabama schedule's rough again.
Ohio State schedule is rough. That is brutal. I find it really interesting what Notre Dame is doing already with their mind to the future. Remember, there was a lot of angst between the ACC and Notre Dame at that final week heading into the ACC championship game. The ACC network putting that Notre Dame-Miami game on re-air over and over again. Notre Dame really upset about that, having some choice words for their quote-unquote conference, if you will. Remember, Notre Dame kind of went above the ACC's head and scheduled this annual series with Clemson that begins in 2027 as a non-conference game. A 12-year series, Notre Dame and Clemson.
I'd be surprised if they even keep that, honestly.
On paper, thank you. Like, as a college football fan, good job by you guys, right? Having some real strong programs committed to playing each other. But I don't think the ACC totally love that as well. The series with Navy runs through 2032. Again, the group of rights binds them to the ACC till 2036. So just go ahead. I know it's 10 years down the road, but go ahead and circle 2036. That's going to be a really fascinating year. What happens with Notre Dame? I went diving into their schedule, Mark, like you did as well. Kind of the out-of-conference games, Coach. In 2027, again, it's Purdue, Michigan State, Auburn. The Clemson series fires up, Navy and BYU. So they did a really good job forecasting out. In 28, Texas, Arkansas, Purdue, Auburn, again Clemson, again Navy. And again, that doesn't even mention the ACC teams that they're scheduled to play that typical year. So it could be a Miami, a Florida State, Carolina, who knows. 2029, Alabama, University of South Florida, Texas, again Navy, again Clemson. Like, those are real. Of those 5,
those are real games.
3 are real. Could be maybe 3.5. Depends what a Navy or a USF is. And then in 2030, I know we're so far out, but the defending national champs, Indiana on the schedule, at Alabama, at Navy, and again Clemson. So I give Notre Dame credit. Like, they've gone out into the calendar book, and you're flipping through. And you're like, we're good, until we're not good, until the SEC or the Big Ten says, or the ACC says, you're either with us or you're against us. And they say, we're going to rip up that contract, right?
We don't have to be with anybody. We don't have to be with anyone because they have a sole spot meant for them in the CFP rankings.
But if the schedule goes away, Coach, and you talk about this, right? Like, why would somebody schedule a big boy that's unnecessary?
Yeah. Well, it used to be. I spent some time at Notre Dame, 6 years, and Notre Dame, I asked this question. I said, what's the scheduling philosophy here? Because it was brutal back in the Lou Holtz era. and you picked 2 teams out of each quadrant of the country, and you picked, it was Texas A&M, it was USC and Washington, it was Ohio State and the Wolverines, it was Penn State. So you pick the best teams around the four court for the Subway alumni, and then you throw in a Purdue rivalry, USC you had to play every year, and then the service academies.
And the USC deal is already done right now. So,
yeah,
kind of a harbinger of things to come, maybe.
So of all the calendar of things, or the checklist of things that get corrected in college football, is the reward for playing that, because you're getting ready for the worst non-conference schedules in the history of the sport. And I think next year will happen. I think teams are I've already heard this. They're trying to get out of some of those games.
Yep.
They don't want to play the big. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Especially if you're in a tough conference. If you're in Indiana, set the template. Kennesaw State, Old Dominion, and Indiana State. You're picked to win by 42 points each game. Your alumni go there. They watch a quarter and a half, and they leave. So
so if you're Alabama, Ohio State, why do a home and away with each other?
Why?
Why?
I mean, I love it.
I love it. We love it.
I love one big end. Yeah.
Well, again, and Notre Dame needs it, right? They have to fill that schedule more so than other schools do, because they only get a couple.
Though?
Well, because they only get the 5 ACC games, so they have more openings than others. Yeah. So, are this great scheduling that's been mapped out years down the road? Will they hold on to it? Will those programs stand by their contracts? It'll be interesting. But right now, it looks damn good. All right, so coming up next, Coach Prime making some news, man. Hey, you want to get paid? Make sure you show up on time. We'll talk about that next when the Triple Option returns. All right, welcome back to the Triple Option. Urban Mark Rob back here with you. We got some prime time.
We got that prime time.
Prime time fines. Yeah. Deion Sanders out there in Boulder says he's going to issue fines to players for misconduct. Okay, so some of these fines include 500 beans if you're late to practice, no show. You just don't show up, $2,500. Late to conditioning, 1,000. No show to conditioning, 1,500. Boy, they got all kinds. Late to treatments, no show to treatments, violation of team rules, public or social misconduct, anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 in fines. Welcome to the brave new world of college football, at least in Boulder. Mark, when you heard about this, what jumped to the forefront of your head?
Essentially, we've been saying college football is the new NFL. And when you have a system going into place like this, that shows you that it is the new NFL. Because when I was in the NFL, you got fined $500 a pound for being overweight. You got fined for being late to a meeting. You got fined for missing a team meeting. You got fined for missing a full day. That's conduct detrimental. Missing a full day, that could be up to a whole paycheck. So when you miss, you pay. And that's essentially what's going on here with Prime. But I think the biggest storyline here is that Prime has an issue within the locker room, within the culture, that he has to address this, right? He's putting these fines in place because there's an issue going on where people are being late to treatment. People are being late to conditioning. People are being late to practice. People are missing practices. I think that is the biggest storyline to me in this, is because if that wasn't going on within the culture of your locker room, you wouldn't have to address it. So I think there's something going on within the players, within the Colorado locker room, where he has to address it and put these rules into place, because guys aren't being accountable. Guys aren't being professionals as they should be.
Yeah, I'm shocked that this, first of all, became public. There's stuff that goes within a team. If that's your punishment system, I'm not sure. Did he make this public, or how'd this get out?
He said it in an interview, right? Stoner?
I just don't know why you'd do that. I don't know.
You don't know?
What in-house stays in-house, and do what you got to do. But I don't know why you'd make that public. And Mark said, and I've had some great teams and not so great teams, but if you're fining people a lot, you got bigger problems than collecting a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
You got a serious issue. Like when they say missing practice or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
missing practice. Read that thing again, Stoner. It said missed practice, late to practice.
Late to practice is 500. No show is 2,500.
Yep. They have late to practice, no show, late to meeting or film, no show meeting or film, late to conditioning, no show conditioning, late to treatment, no show to treatment, violation of team rules, public or social misconduct. So
if that's happening, I'll never forget when I spent time with Tom Brady, Mike Vrabel, Petty Bruschi. This is after they won back-to-back Super Bowls, and I asked him. I said, tell me about this. And he said, we have the strongest locker room because the alphas take care of the shit.
yes.
If there's a problem, it's not going to get to Belichick's desk. We're going to hammer it out. That player is going to have the wrath of the locker room. So,
well, the alpha in Boulder is Deion.
Yeah, it can't be. It can't. Or they're going to continue to be very average.
Yeah.
He better get some alphas.
So
in the locker room.
He showed the list coach to the team, and in the video, then went out. So that's how it got there. So punishment has always been kind of like hit him where it hurts.
Yeah.
Right. And in this day and age of college football, you hit him in the pocketbook.
Yeah.
That's where it hurts.
Yeah.
What happened to
used
wind
to be
sprints?
playing time?
What happened to playing time? Yeah. What happened to running up ski hills? What happened to running orcas and doing push-ups till you puke?
Guys weren't getting paid then, so
I know they're not. I know.
But it's an actual rule. You can't do that. You can't punish kids by running them anymore.
That's a rule?
That's a rule. That's a fairly, I think, near the end of your career that you could no longer. So instead, I don't know if you remember, they'd have to come in and clean the weight room because you weren't allowed to beat the hell out of them with running or lifting or whatever. There was some kind of rule.
That wasn't my time.
No.
That wasn't my time.
Not our time.
Ditto, Mark.
Not our
Ditto.
Time either.
Where we practiced at Colgate, just in the background was the ski hill. And it was always just kind of sitting there looming, just like, I am here for you guys whenever you want to misstep.
Just in case you want to act up.
Feel free to come up the elevation. Feel free to see how thick those weeds are and what the incline is.
Yeah.
That'll keep you nice and clean for a while. So, Coach Prime, it's going to be an interesting offseason in Boulder. We got to get Deion on the show at some point and catch up with him. Time now, though, for 2-Minute Drill brought to you by FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/triple option. Again, FanDuel.com/triple option to download the app and take advantage of a 50% profit boost today. All right, so Fernando Mendoza, the latest addition to the Heisman fraternity, to join you, Mark, as well. Let's talk about who might win it next season. Quick odds. At the top of the list, Notre Dame's C.J. Carr, Texas's Arch Manning, both at plus 800. Josh Hoover, who transferred from TCU to Indiana, is next. How about Josh Hoover, number 3 at plus 1,100. There's Jeremiah Smith, the wide receiver for the Buckeyes, at plus 1,300. So is his quarterback, Julian Sayans. So is Georgia QB Gunnar Stockton. Just a couple of examples. Last preseason Heisman favorite to win the Heisman, 2014, Marcus Mariota.
Really?
Couple others. And again, different publications or different people put out who their favorite is. But the general consensus is Eric Crouch, 2001 Nebraska, preseason favorite, won it. And 2004, Matty Ice.
Matty.
Our boy, Matty Leinart, won it. So I will start with, who am I starting with? Mark? Yeah, first up, who joins you in the way too early Heisman pick?
My way too early Heisman pick? I'm going to go with your boy that's fresh on my mind from the national championship game and the playoff run. He goes by the name of Baby Jesus, a.k.a. Malachi Tony, Coach Meyer. Did you watch this young bull ball, Coach?
I did.
The man inserts.
He's tough too.
He goes up, he blocks linebackers, he blocks safeties. He had the most craziest one-handed catch that was not a catch, but the man got skills, and he got the wheels too. But 109 catches, 1,211 yards, 10 touchdowns. He also added over 100 yards rushing and another touchdown. He could throw the ball. He returns punts. I'm talking about a jack of all trades, a real deal baller down here in South Florida. Malachi Tony. I'm going with Baby Jesus. I think his odds are like plus 2,700. I like that as a big-time value pick. He's just a baller. He's a shot caller. I'm a big fan of him, and I think he's going to have a huge sophomore year, and I think he's going to be the next Heisman brother from
And Mark,
another.
remember, he put up those numbers in a year that he should have been playing high school football.
High school, yeah.
He was supposed to be a senior in high school. All y'all reclassing to get an extra year. No, if you really him, reclass and go to school early and ball.
Baby Jesus can play at any age.
I love Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus. I love that nickname. I don't understand it at all,
But it's fire.
but it's fun saying Baby Jesus. I'll tell you that.
It always reminds me of the Step Brothers movie. I just want to pray to Baby Jesus, sweet Baby Jesus.
No. Wait, I think that was Talladega Nights.
I mean, yeah, that was Talladega Nights. I'm tripping.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, still
when
Will
they're
Ferrell, though.
saying prayer at the table.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great scene. With what was the uncle's or the grandfather's name? Chip.
Chip.
Shut your mouth, Chip. I'm gonna scorpion kick you in the back of the head, Chip.
I'm gonna jump on you like a spider monkey.
Spider monkey.
Coach, look at Coach. He ain't entertained.
Coach had no time for Talladega Nights. I, however, had plenty of time for multiple viewings of Talladega Nights. All right, Coach, way too early Heisman winner. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dante Moore. You know, he came back, could have went the NFL. I love the kid. I love his staff. I think Oregon's going to be right there at the end again. But I'm just looking at these odds. I wonder why Arch Manning, C.J. Carr, and Josh Hoover have better odds when statistically Dante had a better year. It's interesting how Vegas does that, you know, but I think the best player is going to be Jeremiah Smith, but that's hard for a receiver to win it. I'm going to go Dante Moore. Just statistically had a hell of a year, but even more importantly, I really respect this kid. He bought his time behind learning the trade from Dylan Gabriel. He didn't transfer. He stuck around, and he stuck around to come back to get more experience. Plus, he was on the set of Big Noon. Do you remember that, Mark?
Yes.
When you wanted him
to Northwestern,
Michigan
you wanted
boy.
him to pose. You wanted him to pose the Heisman. Remember what he said?
He said, "No, I can't
He said,
do that."
No, I got to play a little better.
Yeah.
And I put my arm around that kid. I said, man, I like that kid a lot.
Yeah. He's a Michigan boy, Detroit boy, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he a Michigan boy,
Big
just
fan.
like your boy.
Big fan of his.
Big fan of
Coach,
Dante Moore.
Coach, by the way, I don't know if you admit it, but you're kind of all on the Oregon train right now. Last week, you said Oregon was your team to beat in your way too early national title pick. And now you're handing Oregon the Heisman.
Wow.
I remind you, who did I pick last week to win it all? Texas.
Oregon. Oh, Texas.
Oh, I'm high on Oregon too, but I picked Texas, which means.
So you're going to go?
No, you've been saying that it was going to be a Big Ten team.
I am, but I'm still putting a lot of chips into the Arch Manning pool right now at plus 800, threw for over 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns.
Your ass out, dude.
Yeah, he's trying to win. Like he been saying Big Ten. Now he's gonna say it was Texas. I don't remember that. We got to reclip that.
It's there. But I've been pushing Oregon as well, and I pushed USC earlier in the broadcast. I think really highly of Texas.
Coach, he just do all this so he ain't never wrong. He give us like 5-6 answers, so he ain't wrong.
He's Switzerland. He's Switzerland.
You're on to me, Ingram. You're on to me. Listen, I like the way the end of the season concluded for Arch. I loved his bowl game outing against Michigan. He flashed those legs. It feels like he's finally being allowed to, like I said it last week, like get out of that cocoon, right? Like just, hey, Texas, let him breathe. Let him be Arch Manning. Let him sling it. They went into the portal. They got the #1 wide receiver recruit from Auburn in the portal. They are stacked. They are
back from Bama.
They are back. They have the vibe of like Ohio State a couple years ago where we're like, this is it, guys. Let's complement this. We might be a little thin here. Let's cover it up. I just like what I've seen from Arch Manning, but it's going to be so tough to do it with the expectations. Again, remember, this is probably going to be the second year in a row he's going to enter the season as the Heisman favorite. And we talked about it. Last one to do it, Mariota, Oregon. I think Arch Manning is going to be there when it's all said and done. Both you guys have great picks. No running backs, by the way. We're kind of waiting who's going to be that breakout running back next year. So that's why another reason why we watch college football and find out maybe it'll be Bo Jackson in that new offense in Columbus.
Ahmad Hardy back, Kawan Lacey back.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, you guys are road tripping. You're out in San Francisco next week for the Super Bowl.
That's next week.
What do you mean, you guys? You're not?
I'm not.
Yeah,
I have a cheer competition in Orlando. I got to be a cheer dad.
Priorities
for once. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I might go on strike here and
hang in there. You know what? It's good. I want you guys to miss me.
It's not a triple option podcast without Stone.
Thank you, Mark Ingram. Thank you.
It's not a live show without Stone.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
So Lynn Stone put the kibosh on this, huh?
I get to see the parrots too, as well.
I don't really like it, man. I don't really like it.
It's going to be all right. Because you're going to be with good people. It's another collaboration with the Throwbacks guys, Matt Leinart, Jerry Ferreira, scheduled to appear at the Super Bowl.
Mark.
in San Francisco. Free live
like
show.
Let's go.
I'm promoting it for you guys,
Piss
right?
me
Saturday, February 7th.
Mark,
Pissed me off.
Mark.
Coach.
Live
I don't know.
crossover episode.
what if we have a
5
good
PM
show? Do we
Pacific.
get rid of Stone?
Oh,
St.
snap.
Joseph's Art Society,
This is-
this is-
1401 Howard Street. in
This took
San
the
Fran.
wrong turn.
Block
So all of
party.
a sudden, we have a big number on the show. He's out.
Let's go.
I'm cheering
He's
for you
out.
guys. I'm cheering for you. Doors open at noon. Music, meet and greets. Coach loves a good meet and greet. There's
Outta
nothing that
there.
Coach likes more than humans coming in, and Urban just gets to press the flesh and hear about their life story and take a picture and put their arm around people. So we got
Urban
everything
loves the
coming
meet
your
and
way.
greets. Urban loves the meet and greets.
To learn more, you can you can go to ampsportsblockparty.com. ampsportsblockparty.com. As always, follow, subscribe, rate us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We are on social media at 3X Option Show. As always, thanks to our amazing sponsors, Wendy's and FanDuel. And we will see you next week on the Triple Option. And some of us will see you next week in San Francisco. Let's go!